Hey everybody, Max coming here. It's a little cute podcast. It's not too long. All right, well let's just get some shit out of the way here, because last couple days the stock market there, I've just made me blood red, right? I just thought, oh god, I'm so fucking pissed off, So anyway, of course we've been paying to the stock market this week. This is a bad week, huh? This is a bad week for the whole stock market, huh? Everything's crashing, man. Tuesday there was a big diarrhea dump. Then Thursday there was a big diarrhea dump. And then Friday there was, I don't know, moderate diarrhea dump, And one thing that was good is that all the overpriced piece of shit stocks were going down a lot, which was good news, because they're overpriced pieces of shit, and no one should be investing in them. And that was good while they were going down, but Of course, last couple of days, gold took a giant diarrhea dump too, which doesn't really make any goddamn sense. And I'm trying to figure out why it's happening, because if you look at silver, platinum, copper, any other metal, they're all on a pretty much big uptrend since November of last year. But gold was on the uptrend until the start of this year, and then it's been dumping. And if you look at the chart. If you look at the chart for gold since August, it's just been going on this downtrend, this very predictable downtrend. It's just been following this pattern as if there was no reality, as if nothing in the world mattered, and it was just following a statistical pattern. That's what it's been doing. It's been following a technical pattern, which of course people use technical analysis when just to ignore fundamental realities of the world. Basically, it's just statistics and graph movements, right? So it's been totally following this downtrend, and ever since, let's see, the lowest point was in the end of November last year, and and then it went up to 1950 in December. And then it took a diarrhea dump to continue that downtrend, right? To reinforce the 6-month trend, right? Which is opposite the 2-year trend, which is a bunch of fucking bullshit. Yep. So anyway, I'm pretty sure right now this is the bottom. This is the bottom for gold. I mean, it doesn't make any sense that it went this far down, but it makes even less sense that it could go down even further. Because right now, yesterday it traded the lowest at 1720, which is fucking insane, man. It's fucking insane because before the crash in March last year, gold traded at $1,700, right? This is before the crash last year in March, right? Before all the Corona shit happened, gold was trading at a high of $17, right? Or $1,700, and right now it traded at $1,720 yesterday. So I just want to ask you guys an honest question. Does anyone in the world really think that there has been no inflation over the past year? That all these fucking governments around the world didn't just print a cosmic fuck ton of money? I mean, this is the reality that everyone is ignoring. That the entire world just printed a whole cosmic fuck ton of money and shut down production for a big portion of the year, and gold has gone up like 2%, 1% in a year. Are you fucking kidding me, dude? Anyway, I mean, the more I look at this, the more I just think the entire world is so fucking stupid. Everyone is so goddamn dumb. But I don't know. I think the reality is that the stock market is just controlled by an AI, and it's not. It's like when you read online Twitter comments and they kind of make you think that the world is a bunch of little whiny little bitches, but maybe that's not reality, Maybe the world is full of nice people, but it's just that the whiny little bitches are on the internet, and also there's a bunch of bots. There's a bunch of Twitter bots that Russia and China pay for to be negative on the internet. This is fucking true, dude. You can look this up, man. China and Russia make these bots on Twitter to just to spread negativity, right? Just to make people unhappy in America, just to make us fight with each other, you know? And I think the same is true as far as gold, is that there's algorithms and that are trading it down to make people think that everyone is fucking stupid and everyone has lost faith in gold, right? They're as if there was no inflation, right? Which is just, that's got to be the dumbest. I don't believe people are that dumb, you know? Part of me is saying everyone's fucking stupid for selling the gold, but I honestly don't believe that the world could be this collectively stupid. Even though I do believe the world is full of fucking morons, not this fucking dumb. Right? No one can be this fucking dumb to think that gold should only be up 1%, 1 or 2% since before the crash last March, right? I just can't, I refuse to believe it, you know? And so I think the reason for this decline in the past 6 months is just fucking AI and algorithms that control the stock market. Because there's another fucking thing that really bothered me. Of course, yesterday was a big down day. Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday were both really big down days. But there's this one specific company called Plug Power. I don't know if you heard about this company called Plug Power. Last year the lowest it got to last year after the crash was $2.50, and the highest it got to this year I think was like $60 or something, right? So it went from $2.50 to $60, right? Way better than Tesla, way better gains than Bitcoin, right? Fucking Plug Power, dude. And what do? This company makes hydrogen fuel cells, which if you guys don't know is basically an unproven technology, right? Hydrogen fuel cells haven't taken off for the same reason fusion power hasn't taken off. It's not really, the science isn't really there. It's not really efficient, right? It's not any better than anything that actually already. This is why Tesla, they're going for batteries. They don't use hydrogen fuel cells, right? Because the great Elon Musk, he doesn't believe in it. And so anyway, this company Plug Power, they had their earnings. They had their earnings this week, and they lost $500 million, right? The company's worth $20 billion, and they lost $500 million, right? So that's, what is that? I don't know what. That's 2.5%. They lost 2.5% of their entire market cap in one quarter, right? And compared to last year, right, they made more money last year when their share price was worth $250 than they did this year when everyone's pumping money into it, right? And if you compare their losses this year, their entire market cap last year was $2 billion. And they lost 25% of their market cap from last year in one quarter, right? And that stock was up 10% today on Friday. It was up 10%. While the rest of the market was tanking, it was up 10%. Even though the day before they reported their earnings that they lost $500 million, right? And you know, they were actually projected to lose some revenue, right? And the lowest estimate for the projection was negative $250 million, right? And so they beat the lowest projected estimate. They doubled it. The most money any analyst thought they could possibly lose, like in the worst case scenario, was $250 million, and they lost $500 million. And what happened to the stock? It fucking went up 10%. Because on some news that they're building a factory in New York, you know, another terrible decision. New York, one of the most heavily regulated states for industry. They're building their factory there. Yeah. You're really gonna make a lot more. You're gonna make a lot more money. Huh? That's a great decision, Plug Power. You know. So anyway, it's really difficult for me to believe that people are so dumb to be buying this company just because they make hydrogen fuel cells and green energy is the future or whatever. You know. I don't believe. I think it's fucking algorithms, man. That's the only thing. I mean, the two possible explanations are that algorithms are really controlling the stock market, or that the entire world is super fucking retarded, like more retarded than that movie Idiocracy, right? I mean, people are literally giving the grass Mountain Dew, right? So those are the two explanations. You know. So anyway, I really think this is the bottom for gold. I don't see it going below 1,700. And, yeah, I mean, fucking, they're passing another $2 trillion stimulus today. You know? Another $2 trillion that we don't have. Just what? I refuse to believe people can be this dumb. So anyway, buy your gold and silver stocks, I guess. That's what I'm saying. I mean, basically anything. Just buy fucking anything, man. There's going to be a cosmic fuck ton of inflation this year. And it boggles my mind how people can be so ignorant of that. How oh, God, And of course, people are also correlating this with the bonds and the treasury yields going up, right? So, I'm sorry, people are correlating this with the yields of treasury bonds going up, right? So what are treasury bonds, right? So basically, you buy a 10-year treasury bond, right? You buy it for $50, and they'll give you $100 in 10 years, right? So, you'll make 100% back, right? That sounds like a good deal, right? You pay $50 for something now, 10 years to get $100. Well, guess what? These 10-year bonds, right? You got to pay like $98.50, right? You got to pay $98.50, and then in 10 years they'll give you $100. So you'll make 1%. Does that sound like a good investment to anyone? Who's buying these fucking things? Well, no one. No one is buying these fucking things, right? The only people that are buying bonds are central banks. And whose money are they doing it? Whose money are they buying it with? No one's. They just fucking print it out of thin air, right? They're buying $80 billion of these bonds, right? So what happens if no one buys the bonds, right? Because of course no one wants to pay $98.50 just to make $1 in 10 years, right? No one wants to buy these things, right? So in order to get buyers, the interest rates have to go up, right? And so the price of the bond will go down, right? So if the bond goes to like $90, right, that's 10%. You'll get a 10% gain, right? So what's been happening is that interest rates have been going up. And people say, oh, that's great for the economy. What does that really mean? If the market is demanding higher interest rates, that means no one is buying bonds, right? That means no one is confident that there will be no inflation, right? Like everyone is convinced that there will be more inflation. That's why the interest rate on the bond has to go higher to attract buyers, right? And the only people that are buying these fucking things are central banks, right? If there was no central bank, if they weren't spending $80 billion a month buying these things, there would be no buyers, right? I mean, the interest rates would have to be astronomical, right? And you'll see things on the news. It's like, oh, the interest rates are going up. That's why the stock market's going down. But they went from like 1.45 interest to like 1.49, right? So instead of making $1.45 after 10 years, you'll make $1.49, and everyone's like, oh my God, that's why the stock market's crashing, because people are gonna make 4 more cents if they hold these bonds that no one's fucking buying for 10 years. And it's just so don't believe that fucking nonsense, man. Don't believe that fucking nonsense. It's all a goddamn scam by this goddamn fucking central bank. Anyway, I don't want to get JFK'd here, so. I don't know. I'm just a little frustrated, to be honest. That gold is going down with the rest of the diarrhea dump stocks. Because basically what's happening is the Nasdaq, all the tech stocks are dumping, right? And they should be, because they're overpriced pieces of shit. But they're taking the rest of the market with them, right? And gold is so fucking oversold. If you look at the technicals, like it's trading outside its Bollinger Bands. The RSI is like the 5-day RSI yesterday was like 12 or something. And if you guys don't know, under 30 is very oversold, and over 70 is very overbought, right? So like if something is trading under 30 on the RSI, it's a good time to buy it, right? And it's very rare that things will go under 30 on the RSI. I mean, it happens on the 1 day and like 5 day, like the 1 minute chart and the 5 minute chart. But as you go longer, right, on the daily charts, hourly, daily, weekly charts, it's extremely rare, right? And for gold, for the weekly charts, the RSI is like 29, which it didn't fucking happen during the crash in March. It's more oversold now than during the crash in March, based on the technical indicators, right? And the only time it was more oversold was also at the end of November, right? So you're telling me at the end of November and right now, people are selling more gold than when they did during the crash in March, right? And the reason people gave for selling gold in the crash in March is because they needed the liquidity, right? They were getting margin called because all this shit was crashing and they needed money to cover their margin calls, right? But the rest of the stock market isn't crashing. I mean, it is going down, but it's not catastrophically crashing like it was in March. So what's the reason for the gold sell-off? Well, there is no fucking reason. Because obviously people aren't selling it because they're getting margin called. I mean, I'm sure some people are, but not a significant amount, right? So it's so unbelievable how oversold it is right now. And again, I think it's the goddamn algorithms, dude. And there's got to be some shady shit going on. Of course, J.P. Morgan was fined for they call it spoofing. It's basically you short shares that don't even exist. You just kind of like you make fiat shares. I don't know how exactly it worked or how no one went to jail for what they did. Basically, they just short shares that don't exist to make the price go down, the paper price go down. And I'm sure they have I'm sure the reason why the J.P. Morgan no one's going to jail for that is because it helps support the central bank, Because if gold and silver go up, it really undermines what the central bank's doing, right? So anyway, enough economy talk. This shit just makes me so goddamn angry, It makes me so goddamn angry just because it's so easy to understand. Economics is incredibly easy to understand, and it's amazing to me how many people are ignorant of basic economics, right? I mean, I could explain to you the whole of economics in an hour. I could explain to you I might do a podcast one day where I just explain fucking everything. I mean, imagine if you could learn the whole of any subject in an hour, right? If you could learn the whole of quantum physics in an hour, or everything there is to know about molecular biology in an hour. Imagine if you could do that. Well, you can do that with economics. That's how fucking easy it is. It's so fucking easy and simple. All you got to do is understand a few basic concepts, and then everything else, it's just like Lego pieces. They fit right together. And it's just amazing to me that so many people don't understand these basic concepts. Especially because once they're explained to you, you can never forget them, right? Just like addition and subtraction. Once someone explains to you addition and subtraction, there's really nothing, no one can tell you anything else, Oh boy, so anyway, I guess that's it. I guess that's it for the econ talk today. Went to the immigration office. Tried to change my visa. I had a bunch of little forms, had a bunch of papers, filled them out, typed them out. Got my little cutie picture on there. I go in the form and hey, can you guys change my visa? I know I'm not supposed to. I know I only have a short-term visa, and I want to change to a long-term one, and I know we're not supposed to do that, but can you give me an exception? Can you be nice to me? I mean, come on, it's Corona times. Let's be nice. Let's be nice to each other. And then the lady was like, the lady was like, oh, I don't have the authority. You're gonna have to go talk to this other person over there. So I was like, okay, so I go talk to this other person, right? And basically, this person's gonna decide my fate. It's up to the discretion of the person, right? And I'm looking at the two people, and one of them is a fucking kid, basically. This person cannot be more than 22 years old. I couldn't believe how young this person was. And I'm just sitting there, and I'm looking at this young person, and I'm just like, oh my god, this little kid is gonna decide my fate. Oh god, I'm fucked. Anyway, luckily I got the other lady. It was like a middle-aged lady. I'm like, oh, okay, good. She's got a little more experience, maybe a little more empathy, So I explained my situation to her, and she's like, oh yeah, that's a tough problem, but we can't. Why'd you get the short-term visa? That was dumb. You should have got the long-term visa. And I was like, well, yeah, because the long-term visa takes fucking 3 months, and I wanted to come here. As soon as I could. I didn't want to wait fucking 3 months sitting in Corona, California. COVID-19 California. I didn't want to sit there. I don't want to get the Rona. What if I got the, and even though I already probably did get the Rona, I don't want to get it again. What if I get the new strain, And she was like, yeah, all right, well, I can't change your visa, but if you apply for this other thing that takes a month and then it comes before your short-term visa expires, you can you can maybe adjust your status, so they made me apply for this new thing, which hopefully they'll process within the month. And supposedly, if I get this new paper, and I'm able to finish the processing before my short-term visa runs out, I don't have to go back to America. Otherwise, I'll have to go back to America and apply for a long-term visa, which is just fucking annoying. But so pray for me. You guys could pray for me. Pray for me that the government of Japan will let me process my visa within the next couple months. That'd be nice. Then, of course, after I went to the immigration office, it's next to Costco. It's next to Japanese Costco over here, so I went over there. Went over there to Japanese Costco. It was all right, Showed him my executive membership. I'm like, what's up? What's up? You like my executive membership? I kind of noticed Costco over here in Japan, it's not really that much cheaper than any of the supermarkets, Like back in America, it's like, you get some good deals. But it's not really that much cheaper here over here in Japan, so it's kind of a waste just to have the membership, Get to the register, they scan my card, and they're like, oh, this isn't a Japanese membership. I'm like, yeah, it's American. She's like, okay, I'm gonna have to call my manager, so she calls the manager. He puts in his key. He turns the key. It's like, okay, you're approved. I put in a special code. So I was able to buy what did I buy? I bought salt. I bought Himalayan pink salt. I bought some meat. I bought fucking 4 pounds. Grass-fed beef, Still trying to do the carnivore diet over here, Anyway, is this interesting? God, this is fucking boring, huh? It's fucking boring. How long is this podcast? Holy shit, dude. Already 20 minutes? God, I was complaining a lot about economics, huh? I was complaining a lot. Of course, we got some fights coming up. Tomorrow, tonight, wherever you are. We got Jair Renaro Rosenstruck versus Serial Gain. Serial Gain? Hey, dude, if you want to make some gains, you better not be eating any cereal, Of course, Rosenstruck is famous for destroying Overeem's lip, and then challenging Ngannou, and then Ngannou just charged at him like a rhino, knocked him out one punch, Of course, now he's fighting this guy Serial Gain, who's undefeated, but he's only had 7 fights. I never heard of this guy Serial Gain. I don't know. Let's see. Who's he fought? He's French. You know what they say about those French guys? Ngannou is also from France, kind of. Even though he's from Nigeria, he lived in France. So he's okay. He beat GADS. I think I remember that fight. Yeah, that was a quick fight there. But that's the only person on this little. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Of course, Magomed Ankalaev is fighting Nikita Krylov, and of course Magomed's got that Dagestani beard, so bet the house on him. And I don't know. I guess that's it. Those are the only. Of course, Alexander Hernandez is fighting in the prelims. I like watching him fight. He's got a lot of energy, but he always goes way too hard in the first round and then gasses out in the second round and then gets beaten. And so I heard he was supposed to get cut, but I guess they uncut him. I don't know, but I guess this is just a little appetizer for next week. Next week we got the big fights. We got Jan versus Adesanya, Amanda Nunes, Megan Anderson, Peter Yan versus Aljamain Sterling. That's gonna be a great card next week. 3 title fights. Of course, Dominic Cruz is on the prelims. Song Yadong too, the best name in all of UFC. Song Yadong is fighting next week. Yeah, next week's gonna be great, but I'll make a different podcast about that one. It's gonna be great. That one's gonna be great. Anyway, I guess that's it for today. Sorry, this wasn't probably funny at all. I don't know. Probably just like my comedy, it's not funny at all, but I don't know. I get so pissed I get so pissed off about economics sometimes, you know? And it clouds my thinking, clouds my judgment. I can't think about anything else. You know? The goddamn global banking mafia, you know? Anyway, thanks for listening. Maybe we'll see you tomorrow.